See what's happening this instant. ABC 11 Eyewitness News at 9 starts right now.
It's the best we can do. It is nerve-wracking though, because I don't really know how it's going to go.
Wake County parents worried. Their concerns just days before school starts. Mandates in effect. The cities and towns across Wake County where you'll need a mask. And full approval of the Pfizer vaccine. The new timeline sooner than expected. Good morning, Carolina. It's Saturday, August 21st. I'm Tim Pulliam in for Anthony Wilson. You're watching Eyewitness News on ABC 11, Hulu Live, and on the ABC 11 app for your TV or streaming device. The top news stories are just ahead, but first, brand new video, Hurricane Grace making landfall in Mexico for the second time. The storm pounding the Mexican coast with heavy rain. Take a look. Grace is now the first major hurricane of the Atlantic season as a Category 3 storm. Now, closer to home, meteorologist Steve Stewart is tracking another storm. Steve.
That's right, yeah.
All right, thank you, Steve. We'll look forward. Parents in Wake County on edge. The last weekend before the start of the regular school year, more than 115,000 students heading back to Wake County schools 2 days from now as the traditional calendar school year gets underway. Josh Chapin talks to parents in Wake County getting their feelings as another pandemic school year starts. Josh Chapin with that report. By contained, we mean Josh Welch will be in class with a teacher, several aides, and just a few students. Meantime, Wake County says nearly 11,000 students will start in the virtual academy. Now, Eyewitness News is the source to get you ready for back to school Monday morning. Wake up with us starting at 4:30. We have team coverage to make sure you don't miss anything on your morning checklist. Our reporters are working for you to help the new school year be the smoothest it can be. Kids going back to the classroom in the Clinton City School District will have to wear a mask. The school board making the decision during an emergency meeting on Friday afternoon. All students, staff, parents, and visitors will have to mask up while inside. The decision means all school districts in our viewing area now have mask mandates. Masks are now required in Wake County. The order going into effect last night in Garner, Knightdale, Morrisville, Roseville, and Zebulon. Same for unincorporated areas of Wake County. Raleigh and Cary restated their mask mandates days ago. And take a look at this map. This is a little different. It shows where masks are recommended but not required in Wake County. Those towns included Wake Forest, Wendell, Apex, Holly Springs, and Fuquay-Varina. A mask mandate is now in effect in the city of Fayetteville. It requires everyone in the city limits to wear a mask indoors. It also recommends masks outdoors if social distancing isn't possible. As for the rest of Cumberland County, county commissioners are expected to take up the issue on Tuesday. In the race to vaccinate, another chance for you to get your shot today in Durham. The clinic is from 11 until 4 at World Empowerment Church. That's on Leadenham Street off of Broad Street. First doses of all 3 vaccines are available. There are no appointments, only walk-ins. Full FDA approval for the Pfizer vaccine could come as early as Monday. The New York Times is reporting that the Food and Drug Administration is pushing to approve it that day, but it could come later. The FDA did set an unofficial deadline for approval around Labor Day. Right now, the vaccine is being used under emergency use authorization. A guide for families days before school starts, the big takeaways for parents, and an advocate's mission. I love this story. A woman's work to end homelessness after once being homeless herself. And a live look at the coast. Take a look, a rip current warning for those looking to cool off this weekend. But first, we say good morning to you, Steve. All right, thank you, Steve. This morning, dangerous rip currents along the Carolina coastline. Red flag warnings are up through the weekend. Wrightsville Beach Rescue making at least 30 rescues on Friday. Curie Beach Ocean Rescue reporting 15 rescues. And Carolina Beach reporting 8 rescues. Crews tell us this is not the weekend to swim in the ocean. Crews from the Wilmington and the Triangle are now part of search and rescue efforts after deadly flooding in the western part of the state. 4 people are dead. 5 people are still missing after the remnants of Tropical Storm Fred dumped inches of rain in Haywood and Transylvania counties. The weather damaging or destroying at least 10 to 15 bridges. Crews are now working to clear the largest debris piles. President Biden's promised what he says will happen next in Afghanistan. Back to school, the new resource available to families to get you prepared for the first day. And helping kids succeed, the school supply drives today in the Triangle. 9:15 on your Saturday. Let's get to the fall of Afghanistan. President Biden defending his strategy, saying the administration is ramping up evacuation efforts from the Kabul airport. Brand new video overnight shows evacuees landing at a U.S. military base in Germany. As many as 15,000 Americans and at least 60,000 Afghans who helped the U.S. are still trying to flee the country. The president insists they will be able to leave the country, even if it means extending the U.S. troop presence past the August 31st withdrawal deadline.
Let me be clear. Any American who wants to come home, we will get you home.
The president also specifically mentioning the 82nd Airborne in his speech, saying the paratroopers from Fort Bragg are a major part of getting people out. Developing now, new charges against a North Carolina man suspected of having bomb-making materials outside the Library of Congress. Floyd Roseberry is now charged with attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction and attempted use of an explosive device. Roseberry facing a federal judge in D.C. on Friday, one day after that tense standoff with police near the U.S. Capitol. Take a look. Roseberry telling the judge he hasn't received his medication in the past week. The judge ordered him to undergo a mental evaluation. If convicted, he faces life in prison. Eyewitness News is the source to get you ready for back to school. Here's Barbara Gibbs. All right, thanks, Barbara. Today you can help kids get the school supplies they need. Operation Backpack is hosting a school supply drive at the Briar Creek Commons Shopping Center. That's near the Staples. The event runs from 10 until 2. You can donate backpacks, notebooks, pens, and more to help more than 2,500 homeless and underprivileged children across the state. Hey, take a look at this story. NBA star John Wall is helping kids get the school year off to a great start. The John Wall Family Foundation and the Salvation Army of Wake County are hosting their back-to-school giveaway today from 2 to 5 on Wake Forest Road. It will be a drive-through event. Wall is a Raleigh native and is gearing up for his 11th season in the NBA with the Houston Rockets. Awesome. Well, let's talk about the weather. Spotty showers, but look at this, the tropics.
You're right. It's right off our coast. Less than 200 miles to have a tropical system. You think we'd get a little nervous, but
I'm not walking up to them because they're homeless. I'm walking up to them because they may need somebody to talk to.
Oh, you want to stick around for this story. The woman on a mission doing what she can to help those in need. Our best. This morning, a woman is on a 40-day journey across the United States. Her mission is bringing awareness to homelessness in America. As Lauren Johnson shows us, she stopped in Fayetteville to lend a hand to those people without homes. She is preaching this Saturday morning. I love it. Thank you, Lauren Johnson, for that report. Teen Mom's next stop is in the Atlanta area. She plans to wrap up her trip later this month. Well, we have much more in the pandemic. Hospitals in several states pushed to the brink. Almost all of the COVID patients unvaccinated. Plus, breakthrough cases in North Carolina, the new data showing the effectiveness of the vaccines, and proof required, another popular event mandating vaccines or a negative COVID test.
This downtown Durham and downtown Fayetteville. ABC 11 Eyewitness News continues.
All right, a live look at Fayetteville Street in the heart of downtown Raleigh on this last weekend before school starts. A lot of you are going to be out and about, but please take it easy. Steve Stewart says it is going to be warm this week and next week. Good morning, Carolina. It's Saturday, August 21st. I'm Tim Pulliam in for Anthony Wilson. You're watching Eyewitness News now on ABC 11, Hulu Live, and on the ABC 11 app for your TV or streaming device. We will get to the top stories in just a moment, but first, meteorologist Steve Stewart tracking the tropics. Steve.
That is right, yeah. Henri, right off the coast by about 2.
Steve, thank you so much. We are going to start with the coronavirus. The New York Times reporting the FDA could give full approval to the Pfizer vaccine by Monday at the earliest. This as the number of new cases continues to rise and hospitals deal with an influx of patients. ABC's Ty Hernandez has more. Now a look at the key numbers here in North Carolina. Cases climbing as the Delta variant spreads. State health officials reporting 6,631 new cases on Friday. That's slightly lower than what we saw Thursday, but still up just over the past 2 weeks. The percent of positive tests ticking down slightly to 11.9%, but the number of people in the hospital is still a concern. 64 more patients reported Friday for a total of 3,147 statewide. In the race to vaccinate, new data from the state on the effectiveness of the vaccines. Last week, 18% of cases were in vaccinated people, or so-called breakthrough cases. While that may seem high, the numbers tell a different story. 461 cases per 100,000 people were in those not vaccinated. That's compared to just 131 cases per 100,000 vaccinated people. That means unvaccinated people are 3.5 times more likely to get sick with COVID-19 than those who are fully vaccinated. Some promising news when it comes to vaccinations in our state. The state reporting more than 15,000 first doses on Thursday. Taking a closer look at the numbers, more than 200,000 people in Durham have gotten at least one dose of a vaccine. That's more than 62% of the county's total population. Nearby, Orange County is the most vaccinated in the state. 80% of the county's total population has gotten at least one dose of a vaccine. And in Cumberland County, nearly 54% of the population has gotten their first shot. Robinson County has the lowest vaccination rate in North Carolina, but more people are rolling up their sleeves. The county reporting the highest percent increase in first doses in the state this week. You will need to prove you are vaccinated or have a negative test to attend this year's Hopscotch Music Festival in Raleigh. The popular live music event will take place outdoors starting September 9th. Tickets are available right now for the 3-day festival. Hopscotch was canceled last year because of the pandemic. And the same goes for this year's Merle Fest. Proof of a vaccination is required for the festival, which is one of the largest festivals in the state. Organizers say unvaccinated concert goers must have a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours of entering the event. The festival is scheduled for September 16th through the 19th in Wilkesboro. Your health during the pandemic, the doctor's visit you might have been putting off, and the free help available today. A new search, the next Jeopardy host stepping down just days after being chosen. And the magnificent marching machine. I love this story so much. Akila Davis reported on this. It is the local marching band producing the leaders for many HBCUs. But first, we start with you, Steve.
All right, Tim, thank you.
Look out for Philly. New this morning, mandatory evacuations are in effect after winds shifted California's Dixie Fire overnight. CAL FIRE says the wildfire has burned 705,000 acres. Wow, and is only 30% contained. Dixie Fire has destroyed more than 600 homes and over 100 businesses since July 14th. Something we've seen people put off during the pandemic is a trip to the dentist. Preston Dental Loft is hosting its second annual Carrie Cares free day of dentistry. From now until 2, dentists will be giving out free dental care to anyone who needs it. All you have to do is show up at the Preston Dental Loft office behind the LaFarm Bakery. That's off of Cary Parkway. Well, Jeopardy is resuming the search for a permanent host. Mike Richards was picked last week as Alex Trebek's successor, but he's now stepping down after offensive comments from his past surfaced. When production picks back up, the show will revert to guest host until a new host is chosen. Richards will stay on as executive producer. Hurt in the line of duty, a Wake County Sheriff's deputy being honored today. The special presentation as a nonprofit steps in to help cover some medical bills. And the 45th annual Lazy Days Arts and Crafts Festival, a preview of next weekend's big event. A Wake County Sheriff's deputy shot in the line of duty 2 months ago will be honored today at Roberts Park in Southeast Raleigh. Sergeant Ronald Waller will receive a $10,000 grant from Running for Heroes Incorporated. The Florida-based nonprofit organization was created by 11-year-old Zachariah Cartledge to show appreciation for first responders. Sergeant Waller was shot on June 2nd while serving an eviction notice. You may remember. He has undergone several surgeries and is currently recovering at home. The VALOR Games Southeast continues today in Rocky Mount. The final two events are a wheelchair basketball tournament today and a golf tournament on Monday. The annual VALOR Games allows veterans with physical disabilities to compete in sporting events. After going virtual last year during the pandemic, events are in person with safety measures in place. Next weekend is the 45th annual Lazy Days Arts and Crafts Festival. It returns to Carytown's Hall campus on Academy Street. The two-day event will feature more than 300 artists, live music, children's activities, and a variety of food and drink vendors. Last year, Lazy Days got canceled because of the pandemic. When it returns next weekend, there will be some changes.
Those booths are usually fairly much contiguous and only inches apart. But this year we're going to allow for that social distancing by spacing those booths out 6 feet. And we've also eliminated our indoor activities to focus on outdoor activities alone.
ABC 11 Together is a proud sponsor of this year's Lazy Days. The festival is next Saturday from 9 until 6, and on Sunday it starts at 12:30 and goes until 5 o'clock. And you can learn more about Lazy Days tomorrow morning on ABC 11 Together Perspectives at 11:30. Nice. How will the weather be next weekend for that?
Looking down the road, there's going to be pop-up showers and thunderstorms, but a little cooler this week. This week's.
Thank you, Steve. I'll keep my fan handy. Friday Night Football, and what's a game without a band? A look at one band that is really making an impact both on and off the field. At historically black colleges and universities, the saying goes, without the band, it's just a game. And that's true at some high schools, including Fayetteville's E.E. Smith High School. Its band, the Magnificent Marching Machine, carries a rich legacy and tradition of cultivating student leaders. Race and culture reporter Akila Davis with this story. It's such a beautiful story. And thank you for the Winston-Salem State. Shout out my alma mater. Akila Davis with that report. The Magnificent Marching Machine performed their first show since 2019 last night at E.E. Smith's first football game. The next game is next Friday at Cape Fear High School. Let's get a last check of the weather with you, Steve.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Out and about today, hot, humid, seasonably so, though. Likely dry. There'll be one or two pop-up storms heating up tomorrow, and then the 90s for next week. Back to school. Going to feel like the mid to upper 90s.
All right, we'll look out for it. The second hour of Good Morning America is next. For Steve Stewart and the entire Eyewitness News team, thank you so much for watching. For now, Eyewitness News continues on ABC11.com. Have a great weekend.